866.
Funding for a green hydrogen plant at Saudi Arabia's Neom almost done. The financing for a green hydrogen plant in Neom in Saudi Arabia is set to be one of the world's largest, may be completed in the coming months, according to ACWA Power Company. Construction of the $5 billion project in the northwest of the kingdom has started, and it's, quote, very much on track, unquote, to be finished on schedule in 2026, said Paddy Padmanathan, Chief Executive Officer of ACWA.
Paddy P.
Paddy P.
He's everywhere. Saudi Arabia really wants to be a main exporter of hydrogen in the world. Richard, you know this very well. It only emits water vapor when it's burned, so it's less polluting than oil, gas, coal. What causes a green footprint is the input into it to make it. So if it isn't solar or renewable, then it is not as clean. So this is going to be an expensive, you use the word loss leader a lot, Richard. It's going to be an expensive first experiment, but the world's going to benefit from this. The equity partners have put in $900 million of their own money here. So yeah, I mean, they're going to do it. And this is very exciting because once they prove it out and once they build it and have a lot of learned tech that comes from this, I think the world's going to benefit from this, but this is expensive.
Yeah, it's hydrogen is the next generation fuel in large part because it has a density comparable, a density that is in the same world as fossil fuels, and so it can be used as a transportation fuel on ships, airplanes, that sort of thing, industries. So it's definitely considered the next big market in many ways. But I think we misspoke on that because according to the numbers, this would be the world's largest green hydrogen project, involving 4 gigawatts of renewable power. And as you mentioned, if it's green because all the inputs are green, so it has to be renewable, up to 600 tons per day of hydrogen produced, and approximately 5 million tons of CO2 emissions avoided, and also up to 1.2 million tons of ammonia exported per annum. So, and we talked about the relationship with Greece and the proximity of Neom and the EU markets. And this is a very big part of it. The fascinating thing is, and we'll get into this because we have another yellow, but I'll end up saying it twice because I've said this before, and I think it's fascinating that they're sort of making bets across the spectrum. I mean, they're increasing their crude oil production. They're increasing their natural gas production. In the East, again, on the Gulf side, it's going to be blue hydrogen, which is carbon capture. So that's what Jafurah is about, and this will refer to it later yellow. And now, we just mentioned that South Korea is planning on coming in and doing a green hydrogen project on the east side. Again, these are things that obviously have more proximate to Asian markets, whereas Neom, a green hydrogen project, proximate to EU. So, and of course, there's the renewables that they're going after. So there's a whole bucket of things they're putting their bets on, and it's fascinating to watch. And again, it was an interesting comment about this article that prompted us to put this in yellow. And I'll just quote it. This project is based on proven technology. So in other words, this is the green project. So there's an electrolyzer and other things. But novel aspects include the integration of these technologies, particularly at this scale, and utilizing ammonia to transport the hydrogen for the mobility market globally. So they'll export the ammonia, which would be converted into hydrogen on the receiving end. But so that's the thing that's in play here, and that's the thing is to do these things at this scale, and work your way towards a profit, somewhere, something that's economically viable. It's a huge endeavor. It's a huge commitment. And I love it that, right at the heart of it is a very large American corporation, Air Products.
Yep. I was just about to say that. That's a really good point, Richard. I'm not going to add to that because that's brilliant. Let me add one thing. We've had so many great guests that have sort of talked a little bit about this. Adam Szyminski from CapsArk, David DeRoche mentioned this as well. Kate Dorian, Energy Reporter. We had so many good ones, and they've all sort of touched on how important this could be if successful. And we're talking a really long timeline here for, like you said, profitability, because it hasn't really been done at this scale.